everything that I stepped on. I can get it gone in a blink. Stack money. We can make a...
It's week 3 of the NFL, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Saints and the Packers, and it comes your way next.
Historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
This taken in at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here the new-look Packers set to go to work. And at the helm here in 2023, a lot of eyes on this man in his 4th NFL season, Jordan Love.
This is set up now to be the true beginning of Love's NFL career because he's finally out from under the shadow of Aaron Rodgers, and Green Bay's giving him this season to prove he can be their starter. 4 years after he was drafted in the first round, we'll find out if Love is the next decade-long starter for the Green Bay Packers.
A guy coming off a career high in rushing yards last year. Here's Aaron Jones. And this will be a Packers first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The numbers for Jones last week, 19 carries, 67 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and the coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Ready. 2nd down, Love. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Let's go.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Again, it's Jones. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. This is 2nd and 8. Love going to give this one to Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. That was a long, sustained opening drive, but in the end, only able to get the field goal out of it.
And absolutely, you'll take the points and the early leads. You never give those back. But there will be a little bit of disappointment that they didn't punch it in for 6 after that kind of yardage and that kind of drive that they had.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center. After 9 seasons as a Raider, Derek Carr is the guy.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes, because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
On first down, Carr. There's Chris Olave. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. This defense for the Packers, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Throwing his car on third down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start first and 10.
Here we go.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. You look at the Saints defense. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 53 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. An inside give to Jones. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your...
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to add on to that lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10.
What now?
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Carr. Now we're behind his man, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Fielded just inside the 30. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Packers now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Love. His throw is going to be incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play fake. Here's Love. And that nearly intercepted. Yeah, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Now Carr. It's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here.
And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete. After incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now Carr. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Ready. Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now Carlson for the extra point.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. 20. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Christian Watson and the rest of this offense back out now. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the 2nd quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make it really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
A check down here to Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there. And, boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Here's Carr to throw. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And he fields it cleanly. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard, 8-yard return. The Packers offense set to go. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Ready, set. Ready.
Love, they go play action now. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 2nd down, Love once more. He'll complete this one to Watt. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it. Realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Let's go now. Ready.
Up the middle, Jones. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Taken down by Pete Werner.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ready?
On play action. Love to throw. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Off the play fake, Love. Looking deep here for Dobbs. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
What now?
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Carr now to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
I got you, baby. Let's do our thing. Let's do it now.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. They'll get this out to Kamara. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Carr to throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Will Lutz on for the field goal.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Falcons who are out in front in the second quarter. The Falcons trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Next, we're off to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Jonathan Taylor with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. The Chargers trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. It was the Packers' leading man, quarterback Jordan Love, who turned in a solid performance in that first half. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play. These two teams going through their final adjustments. It's about time for the second half in Green Bay. So for the call, we go back up to Lambeau and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Saints going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Carr going to throw. Open man downfield is Johnson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 33. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the Packers' 28-yard line.
What now?
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Now Carr. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. Packers all set to go again. That means we'll see Christian Watson. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check, and they're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one, but maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
On 1st and 10, Love. That one caught downfield by Watson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 2 big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead third quarter. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
3rd and 4. To pass, here's Jordan Love. That one too wide and incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
A 36-yard attempt.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing on first down is Carr. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Well, the timing is everything. thing on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter. Running on 1st down is Jones, but he's not.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Ready?
A give to Jones. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After the penalty, it's Jones. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Carr now on 1st down.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. Again, it's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Ready. Let's go.
The give is to Jones. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Nathan Shepard in there to make the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ready.
And here's Jones again on second down. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 70 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead even further. After that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints again ready to go on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Ready.
Second down, another shot for Jones. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
Stand up. Do the he say, she say, getting no delay, run it like relay, bro. You ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. Captain's armband, I'm making key plays. When I'm doing shows, gotta get it all prepaid. Fortune, I'm on it break, no side, know about these ways. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. Starboy excellence. Them other guys irrelevant. They all on. Zoe Camp, it's half white, half melanin. Baby face and a white gold tooth cap. I treat the waiter nice, she love that. I mix the blueberry pie. It's not what I wear, it's how I rock that. If I can buy that twice, I'll cop that. Sweet 110, spot that, chop that. Tryna lock me, I have to tell her it's not that. Do the he say, she say, getting no delay, run it like relay, bro. You ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. I'm a #1 like you say, set pay. Used to kick ball on the estate back then. T90s with the Levi's matching. Rips in the denim, that's classic. Beats get wrapped like Futamaki, that's a sushi roll. I'm a young CEO, gotta do as you're told, gotta act your stack, gotta play your role. I was OT, all shutting down shows from A to B, long way to go. About time they know about me. Hello, the jiggle and clap, jello. I've been on top, where they at? Below, presidential flow, Marilyn Monroe. I got pound